Good evening, everyone. Welcome
Welcome.
to your Friday night webinar, your Friday night 10 to 13 webinar. We're obviously pleased that some of you can be watching either now or on replay. Welcome wherever you are, either in Italy or in France or in Spain. We should start by introducing ourselves, because you might not have had a webinar with us before, or maybe you haven't, or maybe you're not one of the students at our school. So I'm Danielle, and I'm Australian, and I've been teaching at Meraviglie in Milan for about 18 months. Then before I moved to Milan, I lived in London for a long time. And we also have...
Okay, so hello, I'm Lisa. So I am 29 and I'm from Ireland. And I've been living in Italy for 2.5 years now. So I also work in Maes Meraviglie in the middle of Milan with Danielle. And yeah, that's me. Before I became a teacher, I worked in marketing for 4 years. So if you're watching, please write to us in the comments. Tell us who you are, where you're from, okay, if you're watching at the moment.
Okay. Exactly. And just in general, we want to make this as interactive as possible to make it like a virtual classroom. So yeah, please talk to us, ask us questions and answer our questions.
Exactly. We want to hear from you.
Yeah. So the topic of today is adventure. Maybe quite an unusual topic at the moment, because it's something that's quite difficult to do for lots of people in the world. So in general, adventure obviously is the noun, the adjective, adventurous. Do you consider yourself to be adventurous, for people watching? And also you, Lisa, are you adventurous?
I think generally, like maybe not super adventurous, but I would say generally I'm quite an adventurous person. I always like to try new things. I like to visit new places. I also enjoy some kind of like sports and activities to try them, see what they're like, even if it's something that's a bit strange or difficult, like kind of extreme sports. But yeah, so I think for the most part, I would say yes, I'm adventurous. What about you, Danielle?
I think I'm an adventurous person. I always try new things, and I like, I've moved countries quite a few times. I would always try something new. I don't do things that are dangerous. Like if I'm not that type of adventurous. Like I'll go to amusement parks and go on the rides, but I haven't done anything. I haven't done extreme sports before. But I do think I'm adventurous in terms of how I live my life.
Yeah, exactly. So adventurous in relation to certain things.
Yeah. Exactly. So welcome, Daniela from Salerno. Glad to have you here.
Hello, thanks for saying hi.
Yeah.
And we know there's a few more of you watching, so if you want to write to us, say hello, and also tell us if you think you're an adventurous person or not.
Daniela, are you adventurous? Let us know.
So what would we say is the opposite to someone who isn't adventurous? What could we call them?
I don't know if there's there's this actual word. I guess maybe you could call them as an adjective, maybe like cautious. Maybe someone who's cautious. Or maybe someone who is, you could say, prudent. Yeah, cautious or prudent. What would you say, Lisa?
Okay. I'm also just thinking of when I was younger, I wasn't very adventurous. I stayed at home a lot. I guess I didn't travel a lot or anything like that when I was a teenager. So my friends used to always say I was a home bird. So as well, like is someone who I guess doesn't like to travel too much. Sometimes we would call them a home bird. They just like to stay at home, be in their own environment as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends obviously on the context of it as well.
So that's interesting. So you say a home bird, is that right? So
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a
in,
phrase.
in Australia, we say a home body.
Ah, okay, yeah,
But
there's
yeah,
the two.
same
Yeah,
thing. Yeah. Okay, very interesting. We've got
excellent.
Cinzia. Hi, Cinzia from Bologna. I love Bologna. Fantastic food.
Exactly.
So, so for all those home bodies or home birds at the moment, maybe this period isn't too difficult, but if you are adventurous, then it probably is quite difficult. I know I'm finding it a little bit difficult in that sense. So, today here we have an actual some more details about what we're talking about today. So we're going to talk about describing adventures, right? So lots of nice language, lots of nice descriptive vocabulary. Using conditionals, which at your level, you guys are 10 to 13, you're obviously very good. It's always good to refine how you use your conditionals. And then as a general theme, overcoming fear. This is this is a good phrase, all right? We use the verb overcome connected to a noun sometimes, okay? And that's specifically a noun related to fear. Does anyone know what it means if you overcome a fear?
Okay. And also just in relation to asking if they're adventurous. So Daniela says, I think. So I think. So here we would just put Daniela. We would put. I think it depends. I think it depends on the adventure. Okay, it depends on the adventure. Yeah, of course. Exactly. Depends on the situation. Of course.
Yeah, I agree. Overcoming fear. So overcome means like to surpass, okay, to get in front of, or to minimize, all right, or defeat. Defeat is another way of saying it. You defeat a fear. Okay. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. So we have a great quote. Lisa, do you want to read these?
Sure. Okay. So the quote that we have here is from Helen Keller. Okay. So it's a really good quote. Life is an adventure or it is nothing at all. Okay.
Yeah.
So let us know, guys. Do you agree? Do you agree with this phrase? So what does it mean to you? Okay. So yeah, do you agree? Do you disagree? Or what are your opinions on that? So share your opinions with us on that. Danielle, I imagine you agree with this quote?
Yeah, I think so. But I guess there has to be limits at some point, doesn't there? But yes, I do agree with that in general.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you agree with it?
Yeah, I think so. And I agree that, maybe it's not completely realistic. So maybe it's not super realistic because obviously we cannot have adventure all of the time. Unless we're very, very lucky. But having some form of adventure in your life is definitely important. And I often just think that life is very short. So it's like you just have to make the most of things, no matter what life throws at you.
Yeah, I agree. There's also that common phrase, you only live once.
Yeah, YOLO.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay, we've got some comments. So Cinzia, life is live for the moment. Yeah, maybe life is for living in the moment, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. You don't know. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Very good. Antonio agrees with us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, very good. Okay, let's see what else we have. Here we have some, all right, some discussion questions. So, number 1, do you consider yourself to be adventurous or a daredevil? Number 2, what is the most adventurous thing you have done in your life so far? 3, what adventurous thing would you like to do? And 4, what adventures would you like to avoid? Now, there's some good questions here. So, guys, send us your answers so we can share them. We want to know about you guys and we can share them to everyone else watching. I guess there's a great word in here, though, daredevil. Do you guys know what daredevil means? I think the rest of the language might be okay, but maybe this is a bit, maybe it's new, maybe it's not.
I'm gonna put that in the chat. So what is a daredevil? What is a daredevil? So guys, let us know in the comments. What is a daredevil? I know it's actually a TV show as well. I think it might be on Netflix.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, I didn't know
Daredevil. That. Yeah, because it's a superhero, Daredevil.
Okay.
So if you know that, you might understand better what is a daredevil.
Okay, so Cinzia says she's very prudent, so she's not a daredevil. Okay, so Cinzia is asking,
is it a lunatic person? A little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe someone who's a little bit crazy. Probably wouldn't go too far because a lunatic is really strong. Okay. Lunatic is a very, very strong term.
Yeah.
But and to be honest, we don't use it much anymore unless you're saying to someone that they're absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So, but we could say maybe a person who's a little bit crazy. But it's not just about being crazy, is it, Danielle?
No.
Or will we wait and see if other people explain it?
Yeah. Just one thing first, Cinzia. So lunatic is a noun. So we use that as that is the noun. You don't say person afterwards. So he is a lunatic. She is a lunatic. Okay.
Exactly.
So yeah, maybe we can describe it. So a daredevil generally means someone who does dangerous things for fun. Okay.
Exactly.
So usually all those extreme sports that you see, someone who does all of those, they are a daredevil. Okay. You see the 2 words that it's made up of. Devil. I'm sure you guys know what the devil is. And dare. I wonder if dare is a verb. And it's when you you say to someone, would you do that? And it's like a bet. Okay. Usually it's something quite strange or a little bit risky. Okay. You dare them to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm guessing. So Cinzia says she's more prudent. And yeah, good description, Antonio. So a fearless person. So a daredevil could be a person who's fearless. In a bit of, so we would say in a bit of an imprudent way, or a bit of a crazy or imprudent way. Okay, excellent. So yeah, so I wouldn't consider myself a daredevil. I think I like those things, but I don't do them very often. Like I like extreme sports, but I think a daredevil is someone who, like, you're completely obsessed with doing these risky, dangerous things.
Yeah, I'm adventurous, but I'm not a daredevil, I think I would say.
Exactly.
Okay. Guys, tell us about you, everyone else who's watching. If you're a daredevil or adventurous or not, well, neither.
Okay. And even tell us as well about experiences. So if you've tried something, so like maybe an adventurous trip you've taken, or if you tried something that maybe was a bit scary, like an activity or something like this. I think we all have a friend who forces us to do things that we are not sure of. I don't know if, like, Danielle, what would you think is like maybe one of the most adventurous things you've done?
I don't know. Maybe when I was in my very early 20s, I went to South America for about 3 months.
Lovely.
finishing uni, and I went by myself. And I
Wow,
was by myself for the first sort of month. So yeah, I guess that was definitely an adventure, all of that. Uh,
amazing.
yeah, I think that was the most adventurous thing I've done. Um,
Wow, really nice.
Daniela's got an example.
Okay, so Daniela says, okay, so I prefer. Okay, so here we would say if we're going to use another verb, so that's two verbs together. So I prefer or consider. So we would probably just use one. Okay, I consider myself. I think would be more correct. I consider myself. So here courage is something you have. So if you're using it as an adjective, we would say courageous. Okay, a courageous person or brave. You can say brave as well. A courageous or a brave person because it's easier to spell brave. Um, um, so then a daredevil. Okay, so then a daredevil because it's a type of person. But I love. Okay, I love. So here we would swap it around. So we would say I always love to try new things. Okay, I always love to try new things. Okay, but really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, exactly. That's a really good description as well. Just a couple things there.
Lisa,
Okay,
what about you?
excellent.
What's the most adventurous thing you've done?
Excuse me. Um, Probably there's two things. But probably the most adventurous because I want to do like you did, like travel around for a period of time or something like that. Like as I said, when I was younger, I was a lot more of a home bird, and I was afraid to kind of to go outside of my comfort zone. Um, but a few years ago, I walked on the Camino de Santiago.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
that was quite adventurous, even though, to be honest, it wasn't like risky or anything. It was just like a very interesting experience. But I went with a group that I didn't know, so I kind of had to make friends along the way. But yeah, it was really interesting. And then there's one thing I tried, which I will never try again, uh, was doing one of those events where you swim in the sea and then you run. So I don't know, what do you like, a biathlon? I don't
Oh, like
know.
a biathlon. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was not good. I, the sea was very difficult to swim in, and I was not strong enough. And it was that
Yeah.
situation where one of my friends said, "It'll be fine," and it wasn't.
Okay. Yeah, that's scary. That's definitely scary.
Yeah, but yeah. So you know, you live and learn.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And that's no problem, Antonio. If you need to go, I totally understand. It's a Friday night, so you're a bit tired. But he says here, or sorry, no, maybe you're saying you're tired, so you're making mistakes. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't. Sorry, I misinterpreted that. So he says I don't consider. So he's a correction there. I don't consider myself. So we'd say I don't consider myself a daredevil at all because I am a sensible person, and I don't like. So remember, I don't like to take risks. Okay, I don't like to take risks. Okay, really good. And then do you want to read, Danielle, what Cinzia said?
Yes,
Oh,
Shinsia.
sorry, wrong one.
So yeah, the most adventurous thing I have done, travel alone. It's not super adventurous, but beautiful. I completely agree. I think it's beautiful to travel alone as well. It's a different type of experience, I think. Very good.
Mm,
Well done, guys. And
lovely,
yeah, Chintzia, that was really well written. So perfect.
really
Okay.
good.
Right. What about number
And
3? Oh, sorry.
no, yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Number 3. So guys, let us know, like, what adventurous thing would you like to do? So maybe something you haven't done yet, but you would love to do. It might be a dream of yours. Um, Danielle, you've traveled a good bit, but is there? Well, not even just. It could be an activity, but is there something you
Yeah.
still would like to do?
I really want to skydive.
Wow.
Yeah. I wouldn't bungee jump. I think that would be too scary to be upside down. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
But I do want to skydive just once. So
Cool.
that is what I would like to do. Yeah.
That would be
Um,
really cool.
yeah. How about you? What's your one? Is there one thing?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think I'd love to skydive as well, but like you said there, you traveled around South America. I'd love to do that. Um, so for a long period of time, I had two of my close friends who went traveling around South America for a year,
Oh, wow.
Central America and South America. So I was very jealous of them. So that's kind of one of those things on my bucket list.
Yep. Good idea. Okay, Chinzia's got
Ah,
one. I would like to move to, we say another. But yeah, perfect.
very
I would like to
nice.
move to another country. Perfect. Very good, Cinzia. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
And
Monique.
Daniela's just apologizing. She says, she's like, today I feel
Ah,
very tired and a little confused because I didn't sleep. So I think you mean last night? I didn't sleep last night, unfortunately. I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah. It's okay, Daniela. You're still, everything you've written has been very good. So don't apologize.
Yeah, don't worry. Like those little mistakes as well, a lot of the time, I think when there's little mistakes, it's also because you're typing on your phone or it's easy to make those mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah.
Mm,
Okay. Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't
very good. We say because of. Mhm.
because of a mosquito.
Yeah.
Yes, and it is Friday, thankfully.
Yes. Excellent. Okay, guys. So, what about the last question? What adventures would you like to avoid? Um, I don't know about for
So
you,
I guess it would be
Lisa.
like,
Is there anything you'd like to avoid that you don't?
um, I see the thing is, I'm worried that I would be like if I climbed a mountain, I think I would be very susceptible, difficult word, susceptible to like kind of altitude sickness.
Mhm.
Because I know it's meant to be like a completely amazing experience, but I am the type of person I get very sick very easily. These things happen, so I feel like if I tried something like that, it might go wrong. um, but I don't know. At the same time, I say I don't think I would like the idea of it, but at the same time, I would like the experience. So I don't know.
Balance. It's a toss up.
Exactly, exactly. What about you, Danielle?
I would like to avoid bungee jumping. Like I said, I just don't want to do it. It's one thing I wouldn't do.
Yeah,
Um,
I definitely agree. I think skydiving would be like a really interesting experience.
yeah.
I tried parasailing. That was really
Yep.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd
Yeah,
like to
that
do
was
that as
lovely.
well.
Yeah, I did that in Santorini. It was amazing.
Nice. So
Yeah.
Kiara, it sounds like you should talk to Lisa because you want to do the Santiago Trail.
Okay, Santiago Walk, definitely. So I only did a week. So I think it was just over 100 kilometers, but I walked the French way. I know there are a lot of different paths, but yeah, it was when I was on the Camino de Santiago that I decided to move to Italy. So
Oh, wow.
life changing.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and Daniela says, okay, so if it's in the past tense, I tried. So a very big wheel. So you mean like the Ferris wheels? I
Yeah, I don't
think.
know. Maybe a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, nice. Okay, maybe that's the type of thing. Because yeah, Ferris wheels, they're not so common. They're
Yeah,
not very common here.
yeah, I'm not too sure what else it could be. Daniela, let us know if we've got it wrong.
Is it
And
Ferris wheel? I'll type that
Chintz,
in just.
oh yeah, Chintzia has the same, same as Lisa. Would like to avoid climbing a mountain. Yeah.
I think altitude
So,
sickness would be terrible.
and Antonio. Okay, Antonia's done tree climbing. That's interesting. I think about tree climbing things that you do when you're a child and you climb trees. Maybe this is different. Free climbing. You've got an excellent that. Not free climbing. Yeah. So free climbing is when you climb cliffs without any support. They are daredevils. I think they are the biggest daredevils, right? They
Crazy.
are crazy. Okay, excellent. Shall we move on?
Great. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. We've got a nice bit of text. Okay, a nice sentence. Thrilling language. All right. Lisa, do you want to read it?
Perfect, sure. And yeah, pay attention to the language while we're reading, because we're gonna look for some synonyms. Okay, so some different synonyms. Okay, so my uncle is a thrill seeker. He enjoys doing extreme sports and is fearless. I would like to be as brave as he is someday. Okay, my worst fear is heights. If I want to be a daredevil like him, I will need to be daring and face my fear. I have thought about trying something dangerous like skydiving, but I'm afraid that it's too risky and extremely hazardous. My uncle, however, says it's the biggest adrenaline rush. Okay. My mom says not to listen to him since he is an adrenaline junkie. Okay.
So
So
lots of
lots of
sort of
terms.
yeah, lots of great terms, and we won't explain anything yet because this is the purpose of the exercise. So the first question is, which 3 words can describe someone that loves to do extreme activities? Okay, so have
Okay,
a look
perfect.
through.
Hmm.
Okay, so they
So
describe.
exactly. So just take a look through and take your time as well because um there are a lot of typical kind of terms and phrases, okay, in the text. So I know maybe you don't know all of them, but we will explain them as we go through. Oh, and we also have okay, so Daniela says, I think that I'd like to avoid parachuting.
Yeah, that's understandable. I think there's lots of people that want to do that,
Mm,
as in want to avoid it. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, guys, I'm sure some of you know the answer to this question. We've already used it, or one of the words we've already spoken about. So, you definitely know one of them.
Exactly. Do you know anyone, Danielle, that's kind of a really
Someone like
like
this.
really, really adventurous person, but risky, risky?
No, do you know what? I don't. I don't. I never have. I've never known anyone who has done all of these things. I know some people who do some of them,
Yeah.
but no. What about you? Do you know anyone?
My brother used to be like this, but now he's actually it's my brother's birthday today.
Oh
Um
wow.
so now he's 36. In the last like 5 or 6 years, he's started to get a lot more, laid back, not as adventurous in these ways, but he used to be always the person like my mother would be terrified.
I
um
can imagine. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but now it's so funny. I went, I think 3 or 4 years ago, I went to a theme park with him, and we went on roller coasters, and he was like, "Oh my God, I can't do this anymore."
Oh wow. Okay. So he's totally switched.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just like we're joking that he's getting old very quickly. Uh,
Okay. All right.
okay, so we have some answers.
We've got some great answers coming in. So yeah, I think they're all I think you guys are all doing it. So we've got a thrill seeker, yeah, daredevil, like we said before,
Hmm.
and adrenaline junkie. Right, it's a bit of a strange one, but yeah, we've also Kiara has said hazardous. Hazardous means dangerous. So it's more of a general adjective, but yeah, it's related to this. You're right.
Hmm.
Yeah, well done, guys.
Perfect.
Okay. maybe we should describe what these two words are, because together they mean, like a daredevil or a thrill seeker, but separately they mean different things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've got to be
Yeah, of course.
careful. Yeah, so guys, so adrenaline is it's a noun, and it is like the energy that flows through your body. So maybe you have a surge of adrenaline when something really exciting happens. It's something that gives you energy, basically. Would you add anything to that definition, Lisa? Oh, sorry, Lisa, I couldn't hear you. Don't know if it was me or you. I know. I think you're
It's
on.
Hi, it's me.
Yep,
Hello.
you're okay. Yep.
Okay. Sorry, YouTube just kicked me out for a second. Uh, um, but yeah, I would agree. So like adrenaline it's an actual like it's a chemical in our bodies, isn't it? It's a
Yeah,
chemical
yeah, that's
that
right. Yeah,
that creates a surge of energy. So it naturally comes out when you do something that maybe is risky or exciting as well. So yeah, definitely it gives you this we always say like an adrenaline rush. So you get an adrenaline rush, for example, after you go on a roller coaster, because it's such uh, it's a sudden burst of energy, and you feel really good if you like
yeah,
it.
yeah. It
If not, you
feels
do
good.
not. You get something else.
Okay, but junkie, on the other hand, so normally
Exactly.
junkie is a noun as well, and it usually describes someone. Well, this is how I think about it. Is a drug addict. Okay, and it's very informal language. It's not. It's slang. Okay,
Mm,
but usually it's describes someone that's addicted to drugs. Right,
yeah.
heavily addicted to drugs. Um, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty severe. Although sometimes we would use it in a kind of a slang way as well. Like, I don't know, like you're I don't know, like a TV junkie, for
Yeah,
example, or a movie junkie. You're
yeah,
addicted. You're addicted. So we
yeah,
would use it like that. But yeah, by itself, it's quite serious.
yeah. Okay, let's look at the next question. Okay, so which three words are synonyms for unafraid? Okay, so the opposite of afraid. Right, there's
Okay,
some.
so take a look at these. Okay.
I think some of them have already been mentioned, maybe in the chat. Maybe some people have done this one before and they remember.
They're jumping
Just
ahead.
or they've just predicted.
It's true.
Okay, so it's an adjective. Right, three adjectives to describe people. Mm. I'm sure you guys know it. You're very good to be watching us at 8 p.m. on a Friday, guys. Even though
Yeah,
we know
very dedicated students.
you obviously can't go out, we realize. But Antonio's got I love David Attenborough. He's more adventurous. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really adventurous, but also just really interesting, really knowledgeable as well.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay, we've got some answers.
Okay,
So
excellent. Yeah,
Kiara,
so
Daniela, yeah.
excuse me.
So yeah, I think Kiara, yeah, fearless, brave, daring. And Daniela's got the same, except she has hazardous instead. Yeah, so guys, hazardous means dangerous. Okay, so the best way that we use hazardous is smoking is hazardous to your health. That's the most probably one of the most common examples of it. So it's not about fear. It is slightly different, but yeah, it's sort of related. Certainly, if you are a thrill seeker, if you do these sports, you do sports that could be hazardous. Okay, they are dangerous. All right, but yeah, I think Kiara got it. Yeah,
Perfect. Yeah.
very good. Okay, let us know if there are any other words in here that you don't understand, but I think you guys have probably got them. Here we go. Okay, 3 words for unsafe. We've already got one of them, I think.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's not so difficult to get the others, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, something that is not safe. It's useful, obviously, when you're in a lower level, you don't need to know so many variations of the same word. But because you guys are so good, it's good to mix up your language, okay, to use different types of words and to practice when you're in classes. So, maybe the top words, maybe they're not that common in everyday language, but these ones might be more common. So when you're in focuses in particular, but also lessons, face-to-face ones or via Zoom, you should try and use some of these words. Okay, it's a perfect time to experiment with them.
Exactly. And also you probably come across some of these if you ever watch films or TV series in English. And also if you read in English, you would come across these in descriptions of stories or characters. So yeah, it's good to practice the meanings.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so one of them is hazardous, which we've already spoken about. Where are the other ones? I should have a look as well. I don't think I've actually.
They're
okay.
quite
One
similar.
of them is one of them is common. You will definitely know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys will know
Perfect.
them. Yeah, well done. Okay, dangerous is the most common, obviously, and risky. So risky and dangerous. I guess dangerous is a bit more explicit. Okay, if you say something is risky, it's a bit less extreme, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, kind of a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, like it could be really good, but maybe something could go wrong.
Exactly.
All right, well done.
Excellent.
Okay.
Really good,
All
guys.
Right. Now, we're on to the
There's no
conditionals. Right. So, as you guys know, there are 3 or there's really 4 types of conditionals. Okay. So this one on this slide, in this focus, we talk about the first conditional, the second conditional, and the third conditional. Now, I don't know, Lisa, how you want to do this, but maybe just
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I have a cough. Yeah, so if anyone can tell us, first of all, so when do we use the first conditional? Okay,
Yeah.
so a bit of revision to test your Friday night. Okay, when do we use?
Yeah.
When do we use the first conditional?
Or if you know the structure of it. Okay.
Exactly.
Sort of the 2 most important things with most grammar, but with the conditionals. When you use it and what it looks like. Okay, you can give us an example or you can give us a breakdown in structure. Okay.
Exactly. So let us know, because the conditionals, I think for the most part at this level, you should already have a good grasp, but it's always a good thing to do some practice with as well, because especially when it comes to the second and the third conditional, it can be a little bit confusing about the structure. So starting off easy with the first conditional.
Yeah. So this one is very, we use this all the time. Jinsia. Yep, that's a good example in realistic situations. Yeah.
Excellent. Really good. Okay, so in realistic situations. Perfect.
Maybe maybe, Lisa, I don't know how you describe it usually, but I say it's like cause and effect.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
something happens, and then you have the consequence of that. Okay, so yeah, it's reality. Well done, Cinzia. Does anyone know can anyone give us an example?
Hmm.
Okay, an example
Okay.
or the structure. If you send it in.
Okay, so yeah, the structure of the first conditional or an example of it. Okay. Such a fun thing to test them on at 20 to 9 on a Friday.
Yeah, I know, guys, but I'm sure you guys know. I'm sure you'll be able to get it.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can even make a conditional about your situation at the moment.
Yes. Haha, Daniela.
Excellent. Okay.
Well done. Oh, sorry, guys. Exactly. All right. So it's a natural consequence of something. Yeah, Cinzia. Yeah, very good. Almost. If I move to the UK, I will learn English perfectly, or I will learn to speak English perfectly. Very good. Yeah, but yeah, that's a general concept. Excellent. All right.
Really good.
We have an example. If my friend wants to go skydiving, blah, blah, blah. If you are a devil, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. So here, guys, if you want, you can practice making examples. You can use these as the beginning, or you can make your own examples, which you've already started to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to practice, and we'll go through them.
In the meantime, while you send us some examples, let's talk about the second conditional. Okay. I feel like this is like the classic conditional, right? This is the one that lots of people think of. So when do we use this? Right, in general. So as Cinzia said, the first conditional is realistic situations. And the second conditional is basically the opposite, right? So if anyone could tell us the structure or give an example, there are some classic examples of this with this conditional. Let me see, it's a little bit trickier than the first conditional in terms of the structure.
Exactly. And that's where it can get confusing, especially with the second and the third. The structures become more complicated.
Antonia's got a good example. First conditional is used for situations that are true. Yep. Yep. That's well done. That's true. So Cinzia has an answer.
Very good.
So if my friend wants to go skydiving, I will stay home.
Excellent.
Good work, guys.
So yeah, I think maybe for some people the comments are coming in quite slowly as well.
Yeah.
So it just takes a while.
Delay. Here we go. Perfect, Cinzia. Well done. Yeah. So it's a hypothesis. All right. It's a hypothesis.
Daniela has an example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So if I do some yoga exercises now, tonight I will sleep. So we would say I would sleep better. Okay, sleep better.
Yeah.
Sleep better than last night.
Very true.
Because you're comparing. Okay, very good.
Okay, Antonio. If I practice more English, I will learn quickly. Yeah. Good first conditional. Yeah. Okay, so so the second conditional, as we said, so that's a hypothesis, all right, in the present. So we have if, subject, and then the past simple. And then for the second clause, would and the infinitive. So I think the classic example of this, a hypothesis, is if I won the lotto, I would travel around the world. I don't know. Everyone has their own dream.
Exactly. It's the most
Right?
common example for.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, because it's not likely that you're going to win the lotto, unfortunately. Okay, so here we have some examples. If I were fearless, what would you do? If it weren't so dangerous, what would you do? So you can send us an example of those. Okay, if you want to finish them.
Exactly. Or you can use others as well, just to practice using the second conditional. Okay, so you can make up your own if you want as well, relating to yourself.
Okay, while you're thinking and maybe writing, we've only got a few minutes left, so we'll just go on, even just Lisa and I. So then we have the third conditional. Right, and this is the hardest in terms of the structure. Right, the structure is quite long. Here we go. Chinzia's got a good answer. If I were fearless, I would go skydiving. Perfect.
Excellent.
Good work.
Really good. Yeah. So I often think, like, if you think about the second conditional, it relates to a hypothetical in the future that's less likely. Okay, so hypothetical to the future that's less likely, whereas the third conditional relates to the past.
Exactly.
Okay, so it relates to the past. So it's a bit more confusing. But yeah, so we use the structure: if, the subject, the past perfect, would have, and the past participle. Okay, so for example, if I say, if I had studied something else at university, I would have been an engineer, as an example. Okay, I would have been. Okay, and Chinzi, that's excellent. You're studying for lesson 10.5. Really good. It's good to get the practice.
Daniela's got an example of the second conditional. If I were in another country, maybe I would go out. Yeah, now, exactly. Yeah, it's one thing. So we have another is actually one word. Okay, maybe it was a typo as well. It was an autocorrect thing. But yeah, very good. Kiara's got a good example as well. If I were a bird, I would fly all over the skies. Yeah.
Lovely. That's a really nice hypothetical.
Yeah. So the third one, this is Lisa's example. If I had studied engineering at university, I would have been an engineer. So this is all, the third conditional is to talk about a hypothesis in the past. So the cause is in the past and the effect was in the past. And it's often used to express regret. Okay. Exactly. If I had studied Italian at high school, I would have been fluent by now. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it can relate to regret, and maybe something you would have changed if you could, like looking back on it.
Yeah. Okay, so now just a minute or so left. But yeah, here are some examples for the third conditional. If I hadn't been pushed outside of my comfort zone, if I hadn't overcome my biggest fear. Okay, so these are negatives. So these aren't about regret. They're about possibilities in the past. Right.
Exactly. And like I could say, if I hadn't been pushed outside my comfort zone, I never would have moved to Italy.
Yeah, me too.
As an example.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. We've only got a minute left. But guys, if you want to send us any more examples, we can have a quick look at them and share them with everyone.
Exactly. And let us know if you have any final questions as well. But really, really good, like really good practice, everyone. It was excellent.
Yeah, I think these are all, well, it was very interactive, which makes it a lot better for us. So well done. Just do a quick review. So we obviously talked about these questions talked about what a daredevil is. We talked about some of these
Synonyms.
Synonyms, some of these great words here that you should try and use more regularly. And then we obviously looked at our conditionals. Okay. Here we go. So Antonio, for example, if I had more time, I would follow all of the webinars of every day. Yeah, exactly. A second conditional.
Very ambitious.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well done. You were all fantastic. And yeah, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next week, either on a webinar or in class, if any of you go to Meravidia.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, thanks so much, guys. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.